Let's recap the race thus far with our Verizon Wireless race rundown. Joey Logano with the third straight pole in races he's competed in the Nationwide Series. He led the field of the green flag with Carl Edwards alongside. Logano led most of the opening 59 laps, but then...
Well, Carl just got on the bottom of the racetrack and drove right underneath Joey right there. But I tell you what, it took about 4 or 5 laps for that thing to slow up. It looked pretty fast right there, but you can tell that bottom's where you need to go.
Got to be on the bottom of that racetrack, and we see Carl Edwards come in for his last pit stop, and he loses 7 spots, and he has not made them up as of right now on the racetrack. He is still 9th, so we're going to see if Carl can march back to the front.
Came down pit road at lap 107 leading, came out in 8th position, and Edwards now is running in 9th spot, while Logano leads the race 1.8 seconds ahead of a new second place runner. Kyle Busch has just moved around Brian Vickers to take second. Here he comes. Now, talk about a complete opposite MO, right? Kyle Busch has led the most laps in the last 8 races and has only won a couple of them. He hadn't led a lot of laps in this one. Jamie?
He has been fighting this car. Clint Boyer said it's loose and tight. He finally just said something is wrong. There's a bad vibration. I'm so tight in the middle, so he just brought it on down pit road. They took a look at it, made a slight adjustment. He's back out, guys.
All right, so that's going to drop Clint Boyer off of the lead lap. And again, all these leaders are going to have to make another pit stop in just a little bit. So Joey Logano could continue the streak of different winners at this racetrack were he able to get to the checkered flag first. But there are some guys trying to chase him down who have won here before. Guys in the booth, we'll see how it plays out.
And Clint Boyer will be the only guy right now that can go the rest of the distance, and he is 1 lap down right now as a result of that in 23rd position. You see Joey Logano out in front of Kyle Busch by 1.5 seconds here at the Camping World RV Sales 200. Presented by Turtle Wax, and it is getting a little darker. Hopefully we're going to get all 200 laps in on this race. There's Kyle. You see the gap on what it looks like on your screen, and then Brian Vickers giving this 32 car a great ride today in 3rd. Scott Speed, the top 4 cars, all Toyotas, and until Jason Leffler got passed by Kevin Harvick for 5th, it was a top 5 Toyota show.
Yeah, these Toyotas are awful strong here today. This racetrack now has got shade all the way around. It's going to change the way the way the track is for these cars and the way the cars are handling. We've had some bright sun on it, and the track temperature is going to drop a lot now with this cloud cover.
Yeah, probably hear some guys talk about their cars getting tight once again. If they've been working in that direction a little bit, then they might find the thing to go even tighter than what they have been. Scott Speed's doing a great job in this 99 car.
Well, let's get an update on our race leader, Shannon Spake.
Marty, the team has let Joey Logano know that Kyle Busch in that 18 car has moved into 2nd. Now, this car starts off very loose for Joey Logano. The sweet spot for him is right about lap 10, lap 15. That's when the car starts to tighten up. It has not tightened up the way that it has in the past on this run. Dave Rogers, as you see on the right hand of your screen right there, he told me this morning that the team that can have the adjustments not go the furthest, the car that stays most stable during their run, will be the car that runs. Right now, that car is looking good for Joey Logano. Vince?
Well, the one thing that Joey Logano's teammate, Kyle Busch, is keeping an eye on and thinking he's going to be able to take advantage of is the fact that Logano is in traffic. The last time Logano came into this serious traffic, his crew chief, Jason Ratcliffe, told Kyle Busch, this is where Joey struggled last time in the deep traffic. Make up ground. Kyle Busch is within 1.5 seconds, and he's coming strong. Jamie?
And behind him, Brian Vickers had a strong run today, guys, but this Braun Racing team was in the news earlier this week. They announced that they made some changes. They let Bernie Lamar go, and now they're looking to focus on the future and put together a strong team of drivers. Now, crew chief Trent Owens, you see him to the left there, said that all he knows is that these drivers that they bring on board have to have Sprint Cup experience. He said his phone has been ringing off the hook with guys trying to get a ride, so he said, no to you guys. If you're going to call me, you better have some experience. This team's looking to strengthen as they go. Marty?
All right, Jamie, thanks for the update on our top 3 guys. And we'll remind you again, it's Scott Speed in 4th, Kevin Harvick rounding out the top 5. We have a total of 18 cars on the lead lap. And Brendan Gaughan would get the lucky dog if we get another caution. But we've only had 2 so far, which would set a new record here at New Hampshire. Can we stay mean and green? As we check in on the Toyotas, you can see that the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Our annual stop in beautiful New Hampshire for the Nationwide Series, as it is just some picturesque countryside, the old New England touches, and a great place to spend some vacation time. But we're going to take a little trip through the old countryside here. As back at the track, we're seeing Kyle Busch, and we caught on the radio, this is not what you think it is. It's not Joey Logano losing track position. He's actually giving a position for Kyle to pick up the bonus points.
You at the 20, find out about 5. We've been working on it for about 3 laps. They know we want it. Dave, if we get there, man, if you'll give it to us, we'll give it right back here if we can get 5 points. Handle it for a second here. I'll talk to him.
So he obviously did lead and picked up the 5 bonus points, and it is now the 9th straight race that he has now led, or is it 13? 13 straight races that he has now led, and he's only won 2 of those.
But he did get the 5 points. I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't think if he'd have come and asked me as the crew chief that I would have given him that, but they did that, and it does give him 5 points towards that championship. I just don't know if I would do it and try to compromise my effort of trying to win. But these guys do. Those 20 and 18 guys work very close together. That's one reason.
Yeah, they might have. I think the 20 thinks that he's still got him covered. Even though that Kyle has run him down here and got closer, I think the 20 still thinks he's better.
Well, to back that up, this is the latest in the season where he has taken the lead for the first time in a race when he has led.
It's a good race right here. Carl Edwards finally making up some spots. He's made up 1 spot on Bliss. Now he's trying to get another one from Keselowski after that terrible pit stop where he lost 7 spots.
And if he can clear him, he'll take over 7th, and he does. And Keselowski's going to lose another spot to Bliss. All right, let's check in again on the 18 situation. And Vince, you've got more from pit lane.
Some good teamwork between the crew chiefs, between you and Dave Rogers. He let your driver go by. Now can you get back by for real?
Right now the cars are pretty even. I don't know. We'll see. It seems like this cloud cover's definitely helped our car out. Z-Line Toyota's been pretty good all day, but I think we can get to him. But right now I just don't know if we got enough to pass him.
Earlier you were talking about conserving fuel, and then you decided to go against it, and Kyle picked up a couple of tenths. What changed your balance there between conserving and going for it?
Well, I told him after that last pit stop we needed to save a little gas. Once we got up here and figured it, we were actually better than we thought we were. So right now we're only maybe a lap and a half short. It's way too early to save a lap and a half.
Kyle Busch has never won here at New Hampshire, but he's threatening again.
Well, remember we talked about it in our pre-race on Countdown that 22 times we've raced here in the Nationwide Series, 22 different winners, and take a look at your top 4, and any one of those would make it 23.
But with 93 laps to go since their last pit stop, there's somebody that's going to be able to make that. If this thing goes green, somebody can do that. I talked to a couple of crew chiefs down there that could go 89, maybe 90 laps. And if you need to stretch it, some of these drivers know how to do that.
Yeah, maybe that's what Carl Edwards was doing. Maybe, you know, it's hard to believe that his car was that good and then he wasn't able to go back up. So maybe he was just saving some fuel in anticipation of a long green run and green flag pit stop, or being in the situation these other guys have to pit and he's not.
He does that better than any driver I've ever seen, is saving fuel. He can stretch a tank further than anybody I've ever seen.
Well, everyone in the top 16 last stopped on lap 107, so they would have to go 93 laps to make it to the finish.
This is a place that you can do that quite a bit, though.
You see the number 2 there, Sean Case. He is going down for a lap. The youngster has done very well for himself, as he is now 2 laps down in 23rd position. Finished second in the 07 Camping World East Points, and he had 4 wins, and he's given this car a good ride today. Take a look at that. He has been the biggest mover.
Yeah, not a bad run for him today. I know he'd love to be on the lead lap racing these guys for positions, but it's all about getting experience, and he's getting some good experience today, and the car's clean, no dents.